Horror Hangout podcast where three bearded film fans watch the best and worst horror movies of all time. My name is Luke Kondo over Kate. I'm joined by my regular co-hosts, a certain Mr.
Ben Errington
and a certain Mr.
Andy Conduit Turner. Hello, guys. How are you?
Hey, not too bad.
Hello, everybody.
Gone for the
Everybody
Dr. Pepper
well?
today.
Oh, the
Oh, you
big
can't
old
see
Dr.
it.
Pepper.
Can you see it? Yeah. Yeah.
Full sugar Dr. Pepper.
Oh, yeah.
Always
Yeah.
delicious.
Yeah.
Oh,
Got the
always
big boy.
it's a great beverage. What's in that drink? Blackcurrant
Blood.
squash.
Got a big old Vimto.
Jesus, that's going to replace your blood. If you drink that, all of your blood will be Vimto by the time the podcast is over.
It's what
Yeah,
they keep
so-
at the bottom of that Nemesis ride at Alton Towers. That's where it comes from. They mine
Oh
it from
yeah,
there.
oh yeah.
Ship it out.
No, that was real blood. All right,
No,
I'll have
it's
you know.
just-
That was from all the victims, the people who fell out of the Nemesis and died, crushed their skulls on the jagged rocks below.
It's a weird aesthetic to go for as a theme park because, yes, you want your ride to be scary, but, you know, as a going concern, do you want it to appear as if people are dying on your ride?
I think it makes it worse
Yeah.
that people have had accidents there. Like there has been blood spilled at Alton Towers,
Yeah, there was the.
which
Legs.
actually adds to the kind of danger and the fun when you go on. Is it the
I
Smile?
don't know.
The
I don't know if
screams
I'm
are real.
having fun by genuinely thinking that there's genuine danger. Like I just wouldn't know.
Well,
You
there
would
was
go
a-
on this ride and someone lost their legs, didn't they? On
Yeah.
this-
Yeah,
Terrible.
yeah. I
Milo.
found them. They're still there.
Oh no!
Down the bottom.
Oh Jesus!
Covered in the
Christ.
red blood in the Ribena.
Yeah, I like Vimto. Vimto's a weird one. It's got figs in it. I never realised
I
that.
haven't had
until-
Vimto for a long time, but it's proven to be a pleasant experience. It's
Yeah,
an
that's
offer down the
pretty nice.
Tesco's on it. So
Fig drink. I've never gone. I'm absolutely gasping for
Fig.
the sweet taste of fig.
give me a fig juice. It's
Never ever.
that.
Talking about rides.
I don't know if I've ever seen a fig.
You've never seen. There's a fig tree at the bottom of the garden. I can see a fig right now. I'm not even joking. I can see a fig.
If I could just telepathically go into
If
your
you could
head.
borrow my eyes briefly.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, there we go. It ain't what you expect it to look like, is it? I was going to say, talking of rides, I did go on the Saw ride at Fort Park. Did you guys ever go on that?
I've been on that. It's all right. It's
Never
a good
been.
ride.
Never been.
I'm just going to say, pretty damn terrifying because I think a vertical drop is scary enough. Like the Oblivion at Alton Towers used to scare the bejesus out of me. But Saw ride is like beyond vertical. It's like inverted.
Huh?
Yeah, you go in a
Stay
little
on the
bit,
tracks.
and in classic Saw
Glue.
style, when you go around the queue to get in, sometimes a thing will make a loud noise and scare you.
Gang.
Or of
Yeah.
course,
Horrible.
the biggest horror of all theme park visits. Maybe it changes per country, but certainly a UK theme park visit when you go in the height of summertime and there's loads of those, and you've got bins full of sticky pop bottles and ice cream wrappers,
And
and then you're
bees.
stuck in a queue and the wasps are there. What are you going to do? You can't escape. You can't move forward.
That's
you
part
can't
of
move
it.
back.
That's
That's
part,
part
of
of
it,
the
mate.
fun.
That's
Yeah.
part of the experience. They
Ow.
purposely make the bins as sticky as possible, just to entice those wasps.
Final hint for anyone going to Alton Towers: if you find yourself in a queue for the Oblivion, maybe not in COVID times, but if you take one of the lids off the bins there, makes a perfect Juggernaut helmet. You look just like him.
You studied the bins at theme
There's a
parks,
picture of
incredible.
there's a picture of one of my friends wearing the
That
Juggernaut's helmet.
doesn't sound clean.
It was
sound
it
healthy.
was a pre-COVID world. You could wear a bin lid.
And how long did it last when he was on the ride?
Oh no, he didn't wear it onto the ride, just for a bit of just to pass the time in the queue for a minute.
Yeah. I think we're going to go to Austin Pass pretty soon. It's been a long time. And it's only like, what, 45 minutes away from here?
Yeah,
So,
it's nice and close from you, right?
yeah.
I like
Yeah.
Alton Towers.
Yeah, where is it? Whereabouts is it?
Leicestery,
North
which is
Staffordshire.
Leicestershire.
Leicestershire. Yeah,
I
yeah.
think so.
It's a nice place.
Something like that. Yeah. Has anybody ever got any horror news?
Has anybody got any horror news? Well, I've got some. Have you guys got some? I've got some.
Hang on. Let me just quickly
Oh.
horror
Sorry, I'm relying on you having horror
news.
news.
Oh.
then.
enter. Let's see what comes up.
Oh, don't just Google horror news. That's
That's not how he does it at all.
no, that's not how I do it at all. I write horror news today.
Today,
Yeah. So yeah, don't know if you saw this, but Mr. Rob Zombie officially confirms his next movie is The Munsters. He shared like a logo. I don't know if it's like the official logo for the movie. So yeah, he wrote, "Attention, boils and ghouls." See what he did there? What a crazy guy. He said, the rumors are true. My next film project will be the one I've been chasing for 20 years. He must be out of breath. The Munsters. Stay tuned for exciting details as things progress. So we understand that Sherry Moon Zombie and Jeff Daniel Phillips will be playing Lily and Herman Munster. I mean, who else really?
I was about to say, who's his wife playing in that one?
It's literally had to be his general pool of actors that he kind of draws from. So yeah, it seems like, I guess it's gonna be a gritty, horrible, sun-drenched, southern, dirty, bloody mess, or rather than like a genuine adaptation. I don't know.
The Munsters they were actually real nice, weren't they?
Yeah, they were real nice.
Heard that he's the big fan of the Munsters, so maybe this will be him trying something different.
Maybe he'll do something nice.
He's bound to do something different, really, isn't he? But yeah, Jeff Daniel Phillips is in Free from Hell. He's in Lords of Salem. I think he's in Devil's Rejects as well. But yeah, basically just one of his regular actors. But yeah, that'll be exciting. Look forward to that. I think I'm not the biggest fan of Rob Zombie, but I'll always watch and enjoy to a degree.
I think my horror news results came a bit weird. Seal's scars are finally have an explanation. David Bowie's daughter is probably the prettiest woman ever existed. I don't know where I've ended up. According to CGI, this is what historical figures really look like.
Please explain Seal's scars, though. I'm quite interested in that.
I don't think it's a real article. It's one of those where you click on it and then it will just link to loads more.
And it takes you to the bloody ends of the earth.
You'll never believe what so-and-so looks like now.
I love that one. It's like, I can't believe an iPhone costs this. And it's Harry Potter holding like an iPhone as if he's...
like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Crazy.
Those wizards can't use phones, that's the rules of Harry Potter, right? Wizards can't use pens or phones or things like that. They can only have magic stuff.
Really?
Yeah. It's because they're racist.
Dead boring being a bloody wizard.
You can't use the internet.
Can't go on your phone. Can't go off the internet.
Yeah. Why not?
I'd choose Muggle.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I was given the option. What else we got? So apparently the third season of What We Do in the Shadows is returning to FX in September. The official plot synopsis has been revealed as well. So I can't really read it out without kind of spoiling series 2. So yeah, that would be interesting. Apparently there's going to be like vampires, a tempting siren, gargoyles, werewolves playing kickball, Atlantic City casinos, and supernatural curiosities galore. Plus Colin Robinson, the energy vampire dude, he's turning 100. Looks good for 100.
See, I liked those first 2 series, that they were both very good.
Yep, enjoyed it. Enjoyed the movie. We've reviewed the movie on this here podcast. So yeah, What We Do in the Shadows. Very exciting. Looking forward to that. We mentioned
I do have something actually.
Go on then.
Well, I don't know if it's news, but the Sandman Netflix adaptation looks like it's heating up. There's a load of casting news. Lots of complaints about someone playing Death.
I didn't follow any of the casting news. I saw people were moaning about it, so I didn't look at it. What's the?
Well, I think the gist is that some of the characters who looked a certain way in the comics are obviously going to look a bit different in the adaptation, which is fine. I mean, Sandman's. I think they're going to have to take a lot of creative license when they do this adaptation, because Sandman's such a weird story anyway. But
it's hard things to film. Yeah, looking forward to it. I've listened to a bit of they did a full cast audio drama not long ago. I listened to most of that.
It's interesting. Is it written like I'm trying to work out how they get the imagery across.
It's just fully acted with, like, you have a soundscape and you have a full cast of people as well. So
that makes sense.
There's a lot of description. You don't. But yeah, it was working quite well. I need to go back and finish it.
Cool. Okay.
Very cool. So we mentioned Evil Dead Rise last week, and apparently it has officially started production. In New Zealand, director Lee Cronin has posted a picture. I don't know if you guys saw that of the
trainers.
clapperboard. The what? The trainers?
Special Evil Dead trainers.
No.
They've got some lovely custom Evil Dead white Adidas. White doesn't seem like an appropriate thing for a film making loads of blood.
Maybe that's the point, though. The blood
will keep them nice, are you?
The blood will show up better on the old dirty bit. But yeah, that's exciting. That was pretty much that. The only other thing I had here was that not so much horror, more like post-apocalyptic. But did you guys read the comics Y the Last Man?
I did.
Yeah,
I enjoyed them.
Cool, sweet. So yeah, that is the series adaptation. The TV adaptation of that is premiering also on FX in September. First, so it's going to have 10 episodes. First 2 will premiere on the 13th of September. Very exciting. Very, very exciting.
I'd be interested in giving that a go.
Yeah, definitely.
Sweet Tooth has gone live as well. We're talking about Netflix comic adaptations of post-apocalyptic stuff. It looks very different to the comic book series is one of my favorites, and
did you see it
looks way more YA than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, a lot of things do, don't they? They took out like a newspaper ad, and it was like the cover of the newspaper. Did you see it? I don't know if it's like the New York Post or something like that. Maybe like a New York paper. And the actual cover was an advertisement, and it said like human and animal hybrid kids are born. And then really small at the top, advertisement.
This is an hashtag ad.
How many people are going to be absolutely freaked out by that?
Hopefully lots.
Speaking of ads, how many emails have you got from cake companies, guys? Mr. Kipling been in touch himself?
Maybe they've gone into junk, because I've not received any.
Yeah,
I don't read my emails really.
Oh, yeah, like that.
Mr. Kipling, if you're listening, obviously we're not checking our emails. You're just going to have to send the cakes. We will pick those up.
Yeah. Don't worry about emails. Just send me a tweet. I'll definitely see that.
Yeah.
Definitely see a tweet. 100%. I'll be all over it. I'll respond to you, Mr. Kipling. What's Mr. Kipling's first name?
Rudyard.
I was going to say that, but I felt like it was too obvious. No. Big bad Rudyard.
Too obvious, which means the truth.
It means it's the truth, yeah. That's basically it.
You got a beer on the go as well, Andy?
I have, yeah. I'll be not thirsty at all.
He's double parked. You're double parked. You got the biggest drink and a beer. Beer is the one thing that goes through me, and I'll be peeing like I was going to say like a racehorse. Does a racehorse pee more than a normal horse?
Well, I guess horses pee a lot, and a racehorse is like in that competitive mindset. Probably
they'd have to drink. They'd have to drink a lot because they go running.
Yeah, yeah. They gotta have a couple of gallons.
On steroids, they're probably down in water. Is that a thing that people on steroids do?
Steroids.
I think they drink a lot.
No idea. Been off the steroids for a few years now.
Okay.
That's it for horror. For horror news.
Awesome cake news.
Horror horse and cake news. Has anybody seen anything of note this week? Anything exciting?
I have not, and I'll tell you why. I've been living in another zombie apocalyptic world in Days Gone. For the PS4, PS5 as well now. It's called Days Gone because it's a fucking time suck. That's right. The amount of time.
Yeah.
I've like lost in that world because it's just. It got kind of, I don't know if it got slammed when it first came out, but it definitely, I think people were a bit disappointed about it. I think maybe people wanted a Last of Us style cinematic story game, and it does have elements of that, but it's more of where it really shines is it's a post-apocalyptic survival game. So you've just got to, keep your motorbike topped up with petrol, keep it's like, working out what ammo you need. Working out routes to go from, lots of crafting, that kind of thing. And then it's just a really amazing sandbox. So I think I got really excited when I sent you guys a message to say I'd accidentally lured a horde of zombies into a raid account.
That was the sort of real gameplay that made me think, because it was on PS Plus a while ago, right? So I've got it. It's in my library, but I'm also super busy, and there's infinite games going after your attention. So it kind of passed me by. But then seeing you do that's the kind of actual bit of gameplay that makes you think.
It reminds me of when I used to play Metal Gear Solid. Most of the Metal Gear Solid games, Like there's the actual story, but then you do a lot of just faffing about for fun.
Yeah.
Because the systems and the way the game's built, you can kind of mess around a lot with it and play with the systems and the characters.
And like kind of
It feels
telling
like that.
people, you're telling people this was like, when you had playgrounds and places that you hung out with people in real life, telling the stories of things that you did in the game. Metal Gear was one for that. Like GTA's when like, oh, I just did this thing that was nothing to do with it. The original Halo was a lot like that as well. You're just doing like a little bit.
We did that a lot. Yeah. In fact, we used to do in Halo, I don't know if you remember, there's like one Banshee level where you get in a Banshee. I think we used to get to that chapter, that checkpoint, and we used to have like fights with each other to try and get in the Banshee and kill each other.
Flying around in the air.
Amazing.
We used to have a game in Halo 2 where you could, it was like a game where there's like a skull that you picked up and you gained points when you got it, but you could set all of your custom rules. So we just had a game. It was like you could name your variants that you wanted. It was just called Skullfuckers, and there were no weapons, and you just had to get this skull and then punch people with it. It's great.
Yeah,
Amazing.
Days Gone definitely has that kind of sandboxy vibe to it, which I think is a lot of fun.
Yeah, especially with games especially with
go.
heavily story-driven games, and the fact that modern games are more and more cinematic.
Yeah,
It's good to have a game you can kind of go and make your own experience of, I guess, and a game like that.
Yeah.
Something that's why I love things like Fallout. I know it's more of a role-playing game, but still, I feel like you experience so many different things just playing it how you want to play it, rather than hitting certain story beats over and over.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Good times.
What
So
about
you
you
haven't
guys?
so you haven't seen anything at all?
Well, I mean, no.
No.
I mean, Kat's been having 911 on constantly, which is in the background, which has been interesting. But no, nothing other than Days Gone.
How about you, Andy?
No, not watched very much. Been busy with some writing work we got to get done right now, but I did decide that I was going to, in preparation for the new series, maybe go through at least some of the old Resident Evil movies. Evidently, don't like myself that much. So I've only done a bit of the first one so far. I've just been putting it on for a few minutes in the morning before work. About halfway through the first one right now, just having it as a, like a normal person might watch an episode of Tipping Point before work, I guess, with a coffee. I've been watching a bit of Resident
Mila
Evil.
Jovovich jumping about. Did you know what though? I mean, I've not got the best relationship with Resident Evil movies, but it's been so long since I've seen any of them. I think like from 2 onwards, the only time I ever really saw them was when they first came out. So
yeah, the same. I've seen one a couple of times. I'm gonna get another, but I think I've
Yeah.
only seen the others once each, and never the last one. I don't think.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think I've seen
Once
I've seen
each,
1 and 2, and that's it.
I think once each is as far as I got for that. But yeah, they do so many major characters dirty, don't they?
Well,
Which is
we'll find out.
the problem. Anything else?
That's it. Just the film of
Just
the
that?
week.
So I've been playing some games. I've been playing some Resident Evil 4. I went back and I've been playing the PS4 version of that. Just because obviously a lot of kind of reminded me when I was playing
Yeah.
Village of Resident Evil 4, and I thought it's been a few years since I've gone through RE4 from start to finish. So I've been enjoying that. I've just rescued Ashley and just remembered how annoying she is. And well, not just her, but I think the whole gameplay dynamic of like
Getting
trying
firemen's lifted off by those dudes.
Yeah.
Leon!
and Leon. Yeah, so that's been pretty intense. I've been playing Tomb Raider Chronicles as well on PS1.
I saw
because
your
it was-
pictures of those. Are you did you do just Chronicles or just draw?
So
all
I've
the
just
pictures?
been doing Chronicles. Just been playing Chronicles at the moment because I think it was the one that I never owned, but I do remember a lot of it. So I've definitely played it. So far, obviously Tomb Raider games, when you go back to them after so many years, like unforgivingly difficult. Like, it's like the answer to a puzzle is just like so niche that you're just like, how the hell would I ever work that out?
Without
So
a
I have-
walkthrough, how are you ever going to work that out? Is it
I
only
have had
traded
to
off
look
by
at-
the fact that because of its old graphic style, like it's very clear the things you can climb? Oh,
Yeah,
nice straight
Yeah,
lines
yeah,
on it. I love that.
Yeah, but even that, it's still difficult. Sometimes you're like, it's very dark as well, and you've got flares in it, but sometimes you'll miss like a little opening or a little crack you got to shimmy on. It's tough. I've had to use a guide maybe like twice so far, but I'm enjoying it. Like it's apparently like one of the worst ones in the series, or the one which everyone kind of says is the worst one of the PS1 era.
Rolling into Angel of Darkness after this, Ben. I think that's the
Yeah. Well, apparently Angel
real
of Darkness and
brutal one.
Chronicles were made side by side. The PS1 team made that, and then the PS2 team made that like at the same time. So I probably will go and play that next, actually.
I've got a lot of time for the. I like the new ones as well. This isn't a dismissal of them, but I really like the sort of PS3, Xbox 360 era remakes of. There's the Legend Origin. There's Origin, which is a flat remake of number 1, Legend, and then Underworld. And they're all really good.
Legend, the Anniversary, and
Anniversary, not Origin.
Oh right,
yeah, they're great.
Yeah, they're amazing. They're really good, and you can get them those like remastered versions for PS3. They're good as well. Yeah, so enjoyed that. And off the back of that, I went and watched the Angelina Jolie Tomb Raider movie. I'm probably going to watch the second one as well. It gets some stuff right. It gets a lot wrong. It's very of its time. The the soundtrack is kind of like insane. Like it's 2001. It's got like Missy Elliott, Basement Jacks. yeah. And you know, I mean, it is a bit silly, but I think Angelina Jolie is pretty much great as Lara Croft. She's
especially in that period of time. Who else do you cast?
No, it's absolutely perfect in terms of how Lara was presented in the games to how she appears in this. It's ideal. John Voight's in it.
Rimmer's in it.
Daniel Craig. Yeah. Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, Chris Barry.
Yeah.
Daniel
Craig's in it. Yeah, like she's got some sidekicks. It's weird because these Tomb Raider films kind of inspired that series of games which Andy just mentioned, where they started to have sidekicks in them, didn't they? Like Legend and Anniversary and stuff. Someone on the radio kind of like talking to Lara, telling her
just so she's got someone to talk to a little bit, I guess. So you've got a little bit of
dialogue,
time to give the character. Otherwise, she's just walking around silently.
Yeah,
in the levels, right?
Yeah, that one's all right.
I think he's so young.
Yeah, that's the only annoying thing. I think in none of the Tomb Raider games really has there ever been I wouldn't say he's an out and out love interest, but he's almost like presented as like someone like a sort of someone she teams up with, or someone who's like somewhat of her equal. And I feel like you never really had that in the games. She kind of just fucked every man up.
Like you have like a rival, don't you? Sometimes
she still does.
Yeah,
a rival, but it's almost like it's kind of, it does feel like a love interest, and they did the same with the second one with Gerard Butler, didn't they? So
that's the isometric Tomb Raider game. There's a couple of sort of 2.5D ones. There's the Egypt one, and there's the Guardian of Light with your boy Totek.
And you jump on his little shield to get up to little things. They're great. Yeah, I think I played them with a friend as well, so they're really good multiplayer experiences.
Yeah, shout out to Totek if you're a Tomb Raider fan. Give him a shot.
Come on, Totek. Jump on his lid. That's what you had to do. Jump on his lid. He put his lid on and he jumped on it and jumped up to the next thing.
Sometimes you wang a couple of spears that you could spin and that you could swing on. What a time. Good That's times. Teamwork.
Teamwork makes the dream work. I'm going to watch The Cradle of Life as well, just because, completionist in me wants to get that logged. So
why not?
That'll probably be up next. The only other thing I watched this week was the Netflix comedy special from Bo Burnham, Inside. Don't know if you guys have. Did you bump?
Now you say that, I watched the first 30 minutes or so.
Yeah.
I need to finish it. It was good for myself.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I enjoy Bo Burnham's stuff anyway, but this was a special he shot like entirely on his own over the last year. And yeah, it's really funny. Pretty profound, quite like mesmerizing in a way, like the way he's like lit everything. You think like you could have just shot him sat in a room doing some stuff, but everything, there's so much attention to detail. And some of the songs / skits are like unbelievably creative. So yeah, definitely check it out. What was that?
Good on him.
Good on him. He's done it. Well done, Bo. There is a part in it where he kind of like is laughing, and the whole song is Jeff what's his name? The Amazon dude, Jeff Bezos.
Bezos.
Jeff
yeah.
Bezos. Yeah.
Jeff Bezos, and he's just laughing, going, "You've done it! I can't believe it! You've done it!" And literally 2 days after that special came out, he's announced that he's going to space. Jeffrey Bezos. So Bo Burnham must have known something that we didn't.
He's on his way.
He's on his way. While you're out there, mate, stay out there
If you could, Jeff. No, it's all right.
if you could. You bastard. Yeah, that's it from my end.
Apart from, of
Cool.
course, the
Apart
film of the
from
week.
Yeah.
The film of the week, which is The Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It. It's a 2021 American supernatural horror film directed by Michael Chaves, with a screenplay by David Leslie Johnson-McGoldrick. That's too long, that name.
Too many names. Just pick two, David.
David Leslie Johnson-McGoldrick. Are you here? Here. With a story by him, not going to say his name again, and James Wan. The film serves as a sequel to The Conjuring from 2013 and The Conjuring 2 from 2016, and it's the 8th installment in the Conjuring Universe. Number 8 already. Can I
Number
believe
8?
it? Number
So
8.
what have we got? So we got 3 Conjurings.
3 Conjurings, 2
Three
Annabelles.
Annabelle.
Oh wait,
Do
so Annabelle Comes Home. That's kind of a semi-Conjuring one, right?
Annabelle original recipe. Annabelle
Returns or
Annabelle in the
something.
past. And then Annabelle's house party.
Is there 3 Annabelles?
There's 3 Annabelles. Yeah.
Jesus, I didn't know.
I was
that.
watching Ben
Pretty
Scaife, regular listener and interactor of the podcast. He's got a YouTube channel, which we should probably link in the show notes actually.
Great idea.
And I saw him doing a reaction to Annabelle Origins. And I'm glad he had a similar reaction to me. That's a good film. That is
It's
a really
alright.
fun,
Yeah.
like fun.
It's good.
It's
And
made by David
Annabelle's-
Sandberg, the guy who did Lights Out and Shazam and those movies. I just think it's a funny roller coaster of a horror movie, that one.
Yeah, it's good. I liked Annabelle Origins, and
I've not
Annabelle's house party is a good. It's a bit disconnected, but it's a good anthology piece. There's scary individual bits.
Which one is
I've not
that?
seen that one.
Annabelle Creation.
That's
Oh,
that's Annabelle in the past. I've got the thing
Annabelle.
about Origins today. Origins everything.
I mean,
There's-
I actually don't know. I'm just reading.
there's The Nun.
Oh, yeah.
And is that it? So,
Basis of
Nun-
So
basis of
there's
bed
that-
relationship. The nun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Good memory. The Curse of La Llorona is apparently one of them, but then I read an article today saying it's not officially
no
a Conjuring
longer.
movie. It's
They've
no
cancelled
longer.
it. He's
So it's
cancelled.
been shoved out. It's been kicked out. They've gone. You're not very good. Kick the nun out while you're there. Well, I suppose they can't. It's too.
Yeah, the nun
It's
is.
too obviously
pretty.
linked
She's all over
pretty
number
much
2,
in there.
isn't she? Turning up in
Yeah.
those pictures, running around.
all over the bloody place.
I mean, she turned up
Um,
in this one. There's that picture is at the end in
Oh,
this one
yeah.
as well. Yeah, can't get away from
So Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga reprise their roles as paranormal investigators and authors Ed and Lorraine Warren. So what's the basic premise? The Warrens investigate a murder that may be linked to a demonic possession. I mean, it's gonna be in it.
Yeah, it's the one with the demonic possession. It's that episode. So this is IMDb has it at 6.5 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes has a critic score of 59%. The audience score is 84%. Letterboxd has it at a 3 out of 5. The Letterboxd reviews, I've got to say, are quite hyperbolic, as is always the way.
It's not like them to be polarized at all. Do tell.
Jackie is fun wrote, "This is the kind of stuff that makes me never ever want to watch a movie again." Half a star. It's-
Oh.
If you've never,
Make you
there
swear
are worse
off
movies. I know. What the? Okay, this one.
No movies. That's it.
Someone else put talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, spectacular, never the same, totally unique, completely not ever done before, unafraid to reference or not reference, put in a blender, shit on it, vomit on it, eat it, give birth to it. 5 stars. That's a review by Tiff. So they've gone the opposite way with their reaction.
Wow.
Well, they're reading it back now. That kind of feels like maybe that's a bit tongue-in-cheek. I don't know.
I've seen a review here that says another addition to the Patrick Wilson DILF cinematic universe.
Yeah.
He's becoming somewhat of a seriously imposing figure of a man, isn't he?
He always is, but like I think we mentioned last week, his
Serious
jowls
unit.
are
Jowly.
expanding.
Because he kind of had that thing going on in Watchmen, and he kind of obviously made out, obviously, Night Owl. He's supposed to be a bit past it, have a bit of a paunch, bit of an older man. But this is like, what, 12 years later?
12.
Well, yeah,
How
he's
many
turning
years?
into the real Ed Warren.
Yeah.
I think Vera Farmiga is turning into Lorraine Warren as well. I mean, the MILF and DILF thing is quite, that's a repeated theme in the reviews. Emily, who put 5 stars, but good as fuck, scared the fuck out of me. MILF and DILF Ghost Hunters.
MILF and DILF Ghost Hunters.
And then someone else has got a huge ass. But I couldn't even get past the opening. It's just over-budgeted cringe crap made by toddlers.
Made by toddlers. I had no idea that Michael Chaves was a toddler. But there we go.
Oh, yeah. 5.
Little toddler. So he's the director. He directed The Curse of La Llorona.
La Llorona.
Oh, is it the same director?
La Llorona. She's
so the director who
Kids.
directed this directed La Llorona.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I've not seen La Llorona.
I've seen it.
yeah.
I think in the in our Facebook group, one of the guys was saying, was it Joanne, saying that the best part of it is the excommunicated priest who basically has all the best lines in the movie, and it brought it all back to me. That is a true thing.
Ah, okay. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know why I've missed so many of these, because I do like the Conjuring movies, and I've never.
Maybe that's why it's been cut out. You hadn't seen it. They looked at the algorithms, went, Ben hasn't seen it. It's out there, I guess.
Ben hasn't seen it. Yeah, exactly.
You're
so
out,
yeah,
cancelled.
never seen the Annabelle movies either. So I probably need to go and give these some time.
Well, the first one I would say not to bother. I don't. Well, maybe it's. I can't remember. I don't remember enjoying it.
That's not how. It's not how it works for me, Luke. I've got to see it.
Have you heard about the Cradle of Life, Luke? If Ben's season 1, he's got to see them all.
I'd like to watch that Annabelle house party one.
Annabelle's house party is great.
What's that one actually called?
I don't know the real name, Ben.
Because I'm just going to be searching Annabelle's house party.
Annabelle Homecoming.
Yeah,
comes home. Is it Annabelle comes home? Homecoming. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
We're confusing. Just bloody Google it. Is
Just
what I'm
type
saying.
Annabelle Origins. It'll come up.
It'll come up. Yeah, it will. Yeah. But yeah, when you say about this is the latest episode, there is something that feels very episodic about this movie, and it even feels like, even though the first one feels like quite like a standalone episode, the second one feels like a standalone episode. This one feels like it could be a few episodes of a Conjuring TV show in a movie
season.
Yeah, it feels like they're leaning into the procedural element where a bad thing happens and then they kind of do investigations to sort of find out what's causing it. Go on.
Sorry, I was just going to say, like the true crime elements of it, I think kept me engaged in this, because with a lot of films like this, demonic possessions / ghostly procedures, and they can get a bit cliche, and they kind of hit the same sort of beats, but adding that sort of true crime element, I just think makes this whole story, the whole mystery, the way it unravels, just that much more interesting.
It hangs together a little bit more, and you're less reliant on them coming up with the conclusion because they had a chat with a priest that you get in a ghost movie, or they read a book at the library. If it's a real serious thing in the library, they go to the microfiche and it's like, hang on, a murder 50 years ago, exactly today. That's why them ghosts are at it. But no, it gives it a little bit more interest in the discovery part, I guess.
And obviously we are gonna spoil this movie, but the fact that the source of the terror was a little bit different to anything that it could have been. Like, it could have been one or two options, and yes, things that we've seen before, and the source of it was something a little bit different. It almost made the horror of it feel a little bit more manageable in a way, where I was like, well, if this is what the deal is, then I'm very happy that they're going to get it sorted out. Don't worry about it.
We'll throw it out there now. So one more time, spoilers. We're going to give spoilers in 3, 2, 1. It was nice after 8 movies they get to do like a mirror match where it's like, now there is an evil, the Warrens, that we're fighting against.
Evil, the Warrens. Exactly. That's
like
good.
It's like when there's the Justice League and there's an evil Justice League.
Nega the Warrens. Yeah,
the Nega Warrens.
The Nega Warrens. I liked it. I thought it was good. It was a different sort of thing, and the fact that It, as I said, it made the horror feel a bit more manageable, but also you wanted to find out what the source of it was rather than just going, oh, it's a ghost that exists in that house. Oh, it's a demon that somehow was summoned. It's a little bit different, which I
haven't seen The Nun, but like, you know, if The Conjuring 2, which I really like as a movie, effectively, like the outcome of it is that Valak is a prick. Is that the thing? Like, like, what are you at, Valak? You're here. You're causing all these problems.
It's supposed to be an origin of that character, the nun, the Valak, whatever the demon is. The origin of the nun is that the nun exists when the film starts. Do you know what I mean? It's not there's no like, how did the nun become an evil thing, or evil Valak become the nun? How did that happen? Oh, the film starts, the nun already exists, so it's not an origin, it's just the same character in the past.
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Valak is in hell, gets in a bit of trouble, and he has to go and live at a nunnery. You see him go with his like suitcases.
It's basically like saying, here's the Joker origin movie, and the film opens with the Joker. He's already the Joker. We don't find out how it.
Batman began. Batman began.
Yeah, Batman Begins opens, and Batman's already milling about.
Batman's already begun previous to this film.
I mean, first, am I getting that entirely wrong with The Nun, because it was a bit of a shit show. So, but as far as I remember, that's pretty much it. I don't remember there being any, because I remember saying, this is supposed to be the origin of a nun. Why is a nun knocking about already?
Yeah, please direct your angry tweets directly to Ben to correct him on that one. I'm
sure nobody cares enough about the nun to stand and defend it, but you know, maybe I'm getting that wrong.
Jem, who we had on the podcast, she's mates with the director of The Nun.
Is that legit?
Yeah.
Oh, it's legit. What are you stitching me up for?
Yeah, it's actually her dad.
The nun is actually her dad. Well, what a talent. What a talent. I'm sure he wasn't in charge of the script writing, so he wrote the script as well. Oh,
it comes up written and directed by.
Oh, no.
All original ideas by.
Oh, I bet the studio interfered loads as well, didn't they? Yeah, the studio interfered. He owns the studio. Oh,
he's the chief exec.
Jesus Christ, can't get over it. Yeah.
But, yeah. Oh, well, then you'd be 2 for 2 with rows with directors at this rate.
Yeah, I think there's more. I do think there's more, which is why
I feel like there's maybe 3 directors that
which is why I've started to go, if I write an angry review on Letterboxd, I won't put it word for word on Twitter. I'll just post my rating of the film and maybe a brief reason why I didn't like it. Then he can go hunt it down on Letterboxd. He or she can go hunt it down on Letterboxd if they're really angry with me.
I mean, this is the thing about criticizing or being a critic, which I think I would say you're a proper critic in the sense that you actually like review films and I mean we do on this show every week, but you put a lot of thought into it. When
you really do it.
When you on Letterboxd, you actually put like detailed analysis of the films that you've watched.
I mean, for some of them, not like absolutely all of them. Sometimes I really, really can't be, because it's hard sometimes to try and like shape some sort of opinion on a film. Even if it's just like a sentence, you're like, oh God, do I really want to write about this? Yeah. But yeah, so I'll try and keep Twitter mainly a positive space. It's somewhere that I'm always sharing stuff I love.
if you live for negativity, go to Letterboxd.
If you want some negativity, get yourself on over to Letterboxd, where I'm just letting it all come out.
Then Barry Norman Errington will be on there, ripping him apart.
Barry Norman.
I'm glad that someone on Letterboxd is putting actual thought into the reviews, though, because some of the just YouTube comment level stuff that's going on.
What was one of the quotes you had last week? Was it like "wee poo bum 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 wee"? 5 stars.
Sorry.
Probably something like that. It was either that or "I want to murder Zack Snyder."
Oh yeah. Fuming about Zack Snyder. Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. I mean, some films do make me genuinely angry, but not many, you know. A handful in my life. Most of the time I just enjoy cinema.
Alone in the Dark. I think that's the only one that really annoyed me.
Oh yeah.
Like I think recently.
And he's a director that had come for you as well. So you got to be careful.
He would. He'd want a boxing match with you.
Yeah.
I reckon he'd just turn up outside your garage and just kick the door in.
Either way, I'm going to watch The Nun. It's on Netflix now, and
you
it's already paid for Netflix.
is, yeah.
It's technically free. I'll sit down
I'll tell
and
you
watch
what,
one of these days.
one thing I'll say about The Nun is it's a really, like, in terms of like location.
Here come the positives now.
Here come the
I think
positives.
the director
backtracking. No, I think I did say that, like, in terms of the location, like, it's really quite fascinating and really quite interesting. And I think it's like a missed opportunity. The fact that it's like a ancient nunnery in Romania or something, like it's like, oh, here we go. So I wrote, how did it go so wrong? The setup, location, and horrific antagonist should make for the perfect horror movie. And it's a non-event. That's all I said. See.
So technically, you could get box quote if they just if they clipped your review. You could have the perfect horror movie, just dots either side of it.
Yeah, the setup, location, the suitably horrific antagonist make for the perfect horror movie. They take out the should. Fuck that off. Yeah.
There you go. You'd be on the poster.
I'd love to be on the poster. I would.
Maybe we should start coming up with really hyperbolic quotes, like in Letterboxd, to see if we can.
Wee poo poo bum bum.
Yeah. And then the first one to get on the poster, the other two give them £10.
£10.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's think about it.
£10 bounty for the first one of us that can get onto a movie poster.
So we're going for Kipling last week, and this week we're going for movie posters. Probably more suitable for a horror movie podcast. Yeah,
we could do that. I think we have to somehow review the film before the promotional materials start coming out, though.
It's we'll get on one of these indie films. And say something really, really meaningful about it before it comes out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There we go.
And then we'll win £20.
What will you spend it on? Okay, so this film's set in what? So it's 1981.
It's and the Conjuring, now, right?
Conjuring was set in 76, so just 5 years after The Conjuring 2.
Is this the last one in the timeline right now?
I think so.
Yeah.
So we've had The Nun, we've had Annabelle's House Party, we've had Go to London. It's all on the way.
Yeah.
And we open with the Milky Bar Kid in a spot of bother.
This kid is the kid from all the horror movie franchises now, right?
He's been through a lot.
Haunting of Hill House. He was also in the Marvel TV show.
Oh, he's in WandaVision as well, yeah?
Yeah.
Correct.
He's a cute kid. I mean, I get it. Like, he's got the kind of the geekiness factor to him, but he's also kind of sweet looking. And he looks like if he's in peril, then you want to kind of save him.
They grow out of that cuteness so quickly. When you've got a cute kid, you got to grind out those horror movies out of them like super quick. He's off doing Sinister 3 or something now. He's ready. The ghouls after him.
I mean,
no, I just made that up.
Who knows what's next for him? I'm hoping. I mean, maybe he'll be more Marvel stuff because he played Wiccan, didn't he? And he's a proper character, so he might turn up more and more.
Set for life.
Yeah. What is his name?
Oh God, is it?
While you're looking up his name, I'll describe that we begin with, I think, a classic Conjuring cold open, right? Where we have some kind of spooky event which is tangentially related to the rest of the story. And we begin here with it's not an exorcism yet. They're doing something to work out why he's being tormented by a demon. The Warrens are round at his house and they put him to bed to begin, an opening tense scene where little kid got on sweet, very nice, doing all right for himself. He runs, a demon turns up at his house. He runs into the bathroom, draws the curtain around him, and we see the shower curtains up at the top there. Like some of the rings are actually the fingers of the ghost, and then a load of blood comes in through the thing. We flash back, and all the kids, everyone goes running upstairs to find out what's going on. And then the little boy, who is played by actor
Julian Hilliard.
Seamless.
Julian Hilliard was seamless. I'm impressed by that.
He's possessed, isn't he?
He's bloody possessed, and Yeah, so there's some pretty cool moments where they're like trying to bring him downstairs to begin the exorcism, and he's like clawing against the wall, and he's got
Shanks
like
his dad.
oh yeah, of course, he shanks his dad with a knife. Is it a knife?
Sharpened toothbrush. I don't know.
Oh yeah, he's done some time. He knows what's going on.
He doesn't keep a box cutter in their bathroom. Yeah, Ben, move your head for your background. For those on video, you can see him.
Wrong way.
There he is.
There he is, looking suitably fucked up. So yeah, they obviously do and I thought this was quite effective. There's a lot of bendy, bone crunching.
Yeah.
I mean, stuff obviously
Someone's
we've
cooking
seen.
popcorn or something. Yeah, there's a lot of crunchy noises.
I mean, if you enjoy watching, like I do, watching videos of chiropractors and then fast forward into the bits that are time stamped on the YouTube video to tell you exactly where the best cracks are, then I mean, it doesn't work quite as well on this because you know that they're not quite real. But still, if you enjoy it, then you're going to enjoy these spiny pops.
He's snapping, he's popping, he's got a
body
career.
popping.
Oh, I've just thought it's the 80s as well. That type of like dance is going to be at its height of popularity around
exactly.
now. He's going to be the talk of the schoolyard.
Now you're no longer possessed. I saw some pretty good moves back there with your spine. I reckon you should get onto this guy. He'll give you he'll sort you out. He'll get you into his dance troupe. It's going to be great.
Run DMC Origins.
Yeah, Run DMC Origins. Yeah, exactly.
So he's popping around, and the Warrens are doing an exorcism, and the boyfriend of the little boy's sister, he's had a nice moment with him already. He's like, "Oh, come on, you're really brave, so you can get past this. You can get past this old demon business." And then when he's possessed, he's like saying to the demon, "Who are you? Who are you?" He's really giving it some. And
never speak directly to the demon. Everybody knows that. But it's obviously Ed Warren sees this happening. So the character's name is Arne. Sees obviously what's happening is like a transition from the demon's going from the boy into this guy.
Yeah.
Ed Warren sees it, but 2 seconds before, the guy was on him, the kid was on him and sort of like stopped his heart, didn't he, when he jumped on him?
Yeah, says, "I'll give you a heart attack."
Yeah, it looks like Ed, he's, when you eat bread and you don't chew it properly. You're like,
oh, bloody hell. I got a whole baguette. He swallowed a whole baguette all the way down without biting it at all.
Either that or because it was in a rush because this exorcism had to happen, they just sat down for jacket potatoes. I was like, "Oh, I don't want to wait till it's cold." And he put it in, it's too hot. Yeah. It's burning him all the way down.
Where's Lorraine at this point? She's getting him a glass of milk or something.
I think Lorraine. Lorraine at this point is just having one of her like flashbacks / visions.
I have one of those. Which obviously I do with like a job or something. Got to watch. Yeah. Oh,
bloody hell! Are you all right? You really need you to do that. I'm having a vision. Does she have one of those visions when she's driving? Dangerous.
Yeah. Luke, can you put the bins out?
Vision. I'm having a vision of the last time I put the bins out, and it was a ball ache. The last time I put the bins out.
Luke, you've got to come back. You've got to come back. I can't. I've got to see what happens. You just dreamed about next week's EastEnders.
Yeah. I had a real life horror this morning. When you hear the
bin men come in.
The bin men come in.
That sounds really
ominous. And you know that the bin ain't out. And then for some reason, even though I'm in a room with all my clothes, every single clothing item I own, but I can't find something that is going to suitably cover my genital area for ages. I end up just having really baggy football shorts, so I'm running down. Wait, don't go.
There's the telltale like jingle of like the bottles when they're doing the recycling. The sound of failure.
The telltale jingle, or like the reversing noise where it says like, "Please be careful, don't get run over by us reversing."
Unless you're a bin, then get inside.
Get inside.
It's a fun party time.
Maybe have some music like an ice cream van instead to make it more of a joy. Like bin man.
Oh yeah, I'd love
that. It'd be a delight.
That was a Simpsons episode, right? I'm pretty sure they had a jingle or a song as they collected the rubbish.
Bin man.
Simpsons have predicted something again.
Yeah, they love the bin men jingle of the future.
The bin men jingle.
Yeah, hopefully I won't have that horror tomorrow, Ben. I'll remember to put the bins out.
Is it tomorrow for you?
Tomorrow for Incation.
I've given you a timely reminder, so make sure you do it.
Oh, well, straight after we finish, I'll go put the
Don't
recycling
disappoint
out.
me.
Sort out, make sure the glass and paper's separate.
Oh, I trust you to do that, Andy.
I
sure
never
you do.
doubted that. I've got respect for the agency of the bin men.
Good.
Anyway, who doesn't have respect for the agency of the bin men is this horrible possessed kid. He's tried to stop Ed Warren's heart. And Arne says, "Oh no, just leave him alone. You can take me instead." And the demon, not being silly, realizes it's a much better idea, isn't it? I can have this little kid who, when I possessed him, people just like grabbed me and threw me down and started exercising me. Or I could have this fully grown man. So it's a great trade. It's a great trade-up.
Yeah. But what's strange is that it's quite obvious that that's what happened. But then everyone, as soon as the demon leaves the little kid, everyone's pretty much like, "Oh, he's fine. Everything all done and dusted." Thank God for that.
I'd be like, let's get a doctor to take a look at you back because you were doing some stuff.
Let's get a chiropractor in because you're ever so bendy.
Maybe it's because Ed's had a heart attack and they've gone, well, we can only call a doctor for one thing. Healthcare isn't free in this country.
True. Yeah.
Heart attack, back. My kid doesn't seem possessed. Do what heart attack it is.
So I think it's because obviously Ed is having a heart attack. The reason he didn't say that's what happened, and I think Lorraine missed it because she was having a pesky vision. So it doesn't happen.
Okay, so her vision, she was having visions of some sort of ritual happening, hands cracking something,
like
blood,
an altar,
blood in a what's the word? Mug.
Chalice.
Blood in a mug.
Yeah.
Blood in mug. Yeah. And it's like an altar, isn't it? Like a stone altar. You can see with like lights and various other odd paraphernalia around. And does she see it like through the eyes of whoever it is? She sees.
Yeah, she sees it when she touches the boy, doesn't she? Because as we find out later, there's a bit of a connection that's going on.
Yeah.
Goblet. I think that's the word I was trying to think of.
The goblet.
Goblet of fire. I do like a good goblet.
No, maybe
goblet
it's not goblet.
Down.
What's the thing in the Indiana Jones? The Holy Grail.
Holy Grail.
Grail. Maybe it's the Grail. I'm thinking of.
If you watch that back, right? Indiana Jones and what film is it? Last Crusade.
Holy Goblet.
Crusade.
Holy Goblet. When you look back at that, and you're supposed to pick which drinking receptacle you use for the water, there's like plates and stuff in that room. Who's turning up and choosing a plate? I'm gonna drink from this plate.
Laughing at it.
You're laughing at it, and he's gone. It ain't the right answer, but I like your style, so I'm going to let you live, or whatever. What happens? I can't remember.
I mean, like that guy drinks out the golden cup. He ages really fast, and Indiana Jones is dead. Gets better. What's not to say that it's not like George's Marvelous Medicine, and each one of those receptacles does something slightly different. So if you drink out the plate, you become like
a human cat.
You turn into a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good. So they take Ed to hospital where they say he's had a heart attack, and not just a nice one. He's had quite a serious bad heart attack.
It's not one of those ones where you find in 10 minutes. This is one of the bad ones.
Oh, this is one of the bad ones. And then he obviously says to Lorraine, well, it takes him a while to wake up, doesn't it? There's like a few days where Lorraine's there at his bedside.
Sleeping at his bedside. She tells a story which may or may not be important later. Don't think about it too much. Where she talks about how they've always been together, however far it seems. It's the 80s.
Yeah.
So
catchy.
Yeah, they had a jolly old time when they were played by younger actors when they hid from the rain under a gazebo. And that will be important or not later on, but that's the reason she's staying. And when he wakes up, he goes, "Oh, bloody hell."
He goes, "The bins! Have you put the bins out? Fuck!" No, he doesn't.
Has another heart attack, so stressed.
Has an immediate heart attack. So no, he says, "I saw the demon enter Arne's body." So then Lorraine goes, "Oh, how am I going to sort this out? I'll get on the phone to the police and tell them that there's a guy who's been possessed by a demon knocking about."
So I know what this is going to
sound
like.
silly, but just like, well, word it differently then. Say something else. It's going to sound a bit silly. I know when you figure, oh, come on.
Yeah,
come on now.
If it saves lives, Lorraine, just be prepared to lie about it and say, "Look, there's been a credible threat phoned in."
Yeah.
Like
exactly. So she says there's going to be a tragedy
tragedy
at the Glatzel household. So, but he's not. Is the Glatzel household like?
It's sort of in there.
But that's not where they are. They're somewhere else.
No,
aren't
they're at the.
They live in the vets or like is it
Kennel.
vets?
Yeah.
Place.
Kennel.
That couple live at the vets.
Mm.
Or
With
the
a
dog,
really
the boarding
sweaty
kennels.
guy.
Yeah. So Arne's like really unwell and like sweaty, and he's clearly I think he's been hearing voices. And
He had to come
there's a
home from work because he almost drops a chainsaw on a fella because there's someone in the window.
I think that he saw who I thought was actually kind of like you ever see like the gentleman, the episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer with the gentleman,
Yeah.
a really gangly, gaunt looking. I thought it was like that, but it was actually just a woman.
I thought it was going to be for a second there. I thought it was going to be
a bloody woman.
what's her name again? What's the chops? Oh, Valak. And I was like, Valak,
Nunnery.
you again?
Yeah. Oh, nunnery. Oh, I want to know what the origin of you is. Well, luckily, coming up in the Nun, you'll find out that the origin of me is that
I just was.
I just was.
Just was.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, so they live.
But no, it's not him. But we find out who it is a bit later. But for now, he just sees a spooky thing in the window, and he almost drops a chainsaw on his boss. He goes, "Kinell,
bloody hell, nearly could have had me bloody toe off with that chainsaw, you bastard! Get yourself home."
So he gets home. He's all sweaty, and then his boss / landlord is being
who loves
real
Blondie.
creepy. Yeah,
absolutely loves Blondie.
He's got Blondie on too loud. All the dogs are going mental.
He's like, what's he saying? So I think he fixes his CD, his record player. So he's like, he bangs wangs the volume all the way up, and he's trying to get him to dance with him and drink beer with him, and he's like spilling beer. I don't want to be around that guy. I mean, I might end up stabbing him, and I'm not possessed.
And he's making his girlfriend dance with him, and he's like,
yeah, slobbering and everything.
I just want to relax. I've just come home.
One of these
sick
dogs
from work.
turned into a man. Who is this guy?
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Maybe we're being unfair. Maybe that's a side effect of his hallucination. But you're right, Luke. Yeah. It's probably a guy that wants stabbing, and he has some water, but that doesn't fix it. And then in the confusion, basically, we don't see what happens, but it looks all spooky. The lights all go off, and the guy's running at him. And
so he sees,
then we just cut to later.
He sees him like as a horrible creature coming towards him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's what obviously sets him off. That's what makes him do a stabbing, and he stabs him like what, 20 odd times?
Yeah,
like
yeah, something like that. Yeah,
20 odd times.
Out of order.
And then we just see him walking down the street a bit later on, and he's got funny possessed eyes, which desert him just before the police come and arrest him. The devil frame him up, going, "The devil, I made you do it. Now I ain't sticking around to take the blame. See ya." His eyes go normal, and he goes, "Oh, I think I've done
a bad thing.
I've done a bad thing."
Yeah, he's like covered in blood as well. And I have to say, the actor who plays him, he elicits sympathy very well. He seems like a really nice guy.
Yeah.
And he's just been stitched right up.
Exactly. Yeah.
By the devil of all things.
By the bloody devil.
I was thinking of this as well, like the devil. If the devil did go around possessing people, my first one was, wouldn't he have better stuff to do?
Yeah.
Stabbing up local kennel owner.
Did the devil make him do it? Because it wasn't the devil, it was the lady. She's not the devil.
But the lady made the devil. The lady made the devil make him do it. But that title was considered too long.
The lady asked for a favor from the devil to make him do it.
Wait, no, but I thought she was doing these possession / sacrifice suicides. This is the subtitle of the film. She was making them do possession / suicide sacrifices, and she was going to do 3 people, and that was going to allow her eternal life or something. Or
because the devil
made a deal.
I don't think the devil gets involved at all until the very end.
He gets a soul either way. So like the devil gets a soul, and if she doesn't do that, then he gets hers instead. So it's win-win for the devil.
So what does the lady get out of the deal?
I don't know.
Eternal life, isn't it? Is it eternal life? Subway voucher. A foot long.
Usually eternal life.
Nectar points.
Oh, a foot long meatball marinara. 15%.
Meatball marinara. The devil makes me buy those. They're not easy to eat. Like the amount of, when he's Owen's got all the red over him. That's me after I've eaten a meatball marinara sandwich.
What the devil's
You've
done?
got to
is the
like
devil's
identify.
You can manage a foot long.
The devil made me do it.
I only want slightly more than 1 6-inch sub. Just get a foot long. It'll be all right. You'll finish it. Get a cookie. Oh, don't the devil.
The meatball marinara one's difficult to eat because you got to like identify where the meatballs are.
Yeah.
And then almost like
and the bread gets soggy, and it like starts to tear. If you bite it the wrong way, it pops out. Shoots out.
You've got to place your bites very well on a meatball marinara. You probably need the powers of the devil.
It's an interactive sandwich in that way.
Yeah. More hassle than it's worth, to be fair.
Choose your own adventure sort of sandwich, that.
Yeah. Less dangerous.
So obviously Arne gets arrested, and then pretty much immediately the Warrens decide that they're going to try and help get him off. Not in that way. Get him off from the murder. Not
Come here, Arne.
give him.
Well, with MILF and DILF powers, they could probably do both.
MILF and DILF, one of each. So obviously,
doesn't matter what you're into.
They speak to his lawyer, and they pretty much say,
"Oh, this was quite a nice little scene." I thought
they kind of threaten her. They have a nice bit of jovial.
Oh yeah,
don't they? Where the lawyer goes like, "Well, you failed to convince me. How are you going to convince the grand jury?" And Ed Warren's like, "Tell you what, pop round our house for dinner. We'll introduce you to Annabelle. Annabelle's just like a party trick that you get out now."
How could you live in that house with all that shit going on inside that room? Just couldn't relax. Could never relax.
Yeah.
So yeah, then the lawyer decides to bring the obviously defend Arne and say basically he wasn't of sound mind because he was possessed by a demon. And they do make a good point, I suppose, that obviously court cases they always bring the presence of God into everything. So, pledging whatever you do on the Bible. What do you say? I won't lie. I promise I won't lie.
Pledge allegiance to the Bible, whatever. That's right.
I pledge allegiance to the Bible, especially this bit.
What book would you pledge allegiance to, Ben, if you don't like the Bible? Luke, it's open. It's an open question.
I mean, it has to be something that's completely based in facts. I would say like a dictionary, like because then it's like you can't. I don't know. The implications of that are like you couldn't make up a word. Like it's when you're playing Scrabble and you make some shit up, it doesn't fly.
Yeah.
So you've got to you've got to be on point with it.
It could be a special edition of the Bible, not the Bible, of the dictionary that has none of the words or definitions for any synonym of lies. So you can't use any of them. They're out.
Yeah.
That's the special book.
Yeah.
I might do Lemmy's autobiography because I feel like I'm always telling stories from Lemmy's autobiography. I feel like I hold it as such. I was thinking about it recently. And I was like, such a great book, probably one of the greatest books ever written. So,
is that the one where he's talking about Rolling Stones are like London posh boys and the Beatles are proper hard men from
just like it's absolutely mad. I remember one chapter starts with, I woke up on Brighton Beach and for breakfast I ate a tin of cold beans with a comb. I mean, any book that's got that in it, I'm gonna pledge allegiance or whatever you do. Swear your life away. It's just great.
Is there an origin chapter, much like The Nun, where we work out where his favourite card came from? He says, for a long time as a boy, I actually liked the Queen of Hearts.
It's just
the Seven of Diamonds is the one for me all through the 70s. And then
there's just a load of drug stuff, a load of stuff where you're like, he should have died 10 times over before he did. There's one bit where he like puts a load of I think he's made a load of like acid tabs and he's got them, and for some reason I think he's keeping them in a bottle or something, and they've added water to it because I think he's going to go and dry them out and take them when he gets home. And then apparently the police turn up, so he just necks the whole bottle. And then he said, "Yeah, I was high for about 4 weeks." Just walking around like that.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So as you can tell, I've been talking about that book a lot lately. So when you said what book to bring up,
so you'd have chosen that one.
Lemmy, White Line Fever. Yes. What about you, Andy? What have you decided? Hungry Caterpillar?
I always like it's a sacred tome for me. Back in the days, I really wanted to get. Well, I had the originals when they came out as comics. Of the seldom happens a Justice League Avengers crossover, JLA Avengers,
Oh,
and they did a hardcover of it once upon a time. And it was like 50 quid, but this was like, I was at uni, 50 quid was a lot of money. And I was like, I can't spend 50 quid on like a hardback book. 50 quid on a hardback comic, it's a lot of money. Regret that ever since now. I've looked at it as an adult now with the job and stuff. I thought, I could probably get that. Of course, doing 50 quid anymore, it's out of print and I get it for like 300 quid. So maybe if I promised not to lie in court, if they would give me the book, if you get to take the book home,
if you get to keep it.
Can I
the
keep
book
if
that
you
we
don't
swear
lie,
at,
if you don't lie,
if you lie, you're not having this. Goes back to Santa Claus, and
yeah,
that's the book I would want if I could take it home.
Is it official? I've always wondered if stuff like that is official.
Yeah, it's officially canon, I think.
That's absolutely mad. Who wins? Spoiler.
Oh, it's classic Batman v Superman. They punch for a bit and then they're mates. They team up at the end. But there's an excellent.
Classic.
There's the final cover is an excellent image of like Superman looking all battered. He's got like Captain America's shield and Thor's hammer. What a time! It's a huge everyone versus everyone.
That is a time.
Yeah, it's
insane.
Got a book. JLA Avengers, horror fans. Get involved. Hard to get involved. It's hard to get it. It's not available digitally, so good luck. Don't push the prices up of the book that I want, okay? Just
I'm gonna Google it. Let's have a look. So yeah, what happens? He goes to he gets like incarcerated, doesn't he? I guess. And they're
he goes to prison, and they're going to do the best to get him out. They're going to go and do some investigations, but the devil does visits. Visiting hours don't mean anything to the devil because he's in hospital. Well, he's not. It's a prison, but there's a hospital wing, and he's been charged with he's been charged with mopping it, and the devil gives him a little scare.
Yeah.
So it's how we're led to know
that the devil don't give a fuck, mate. Well, they do a little test on him as well, don't they? Before he gets
that's
away,
right. Yeah.
To try and see if he's possessed, and they get him to read from the Bible, and they go, well, if he's possessed, he definitely wouldn't have been able to read from the Bible. He'd have been fuming.
Again, so I don't think the devil has anything to do with it. Devil's not possessed. He's not possessed, is he? He's the place the cursed. He's cursed.
So he's cursed. Yeah, they work out eventually that it's like a satanic curse. And then obviously when they're doing some digging later, they look under the house in the like crawl space area, and they find a creepy like witch's totem, which I guess confirms that.
That's a creepy little moment. It's quite scary that moment, and Lorraine
the scary bit under the house,
ruining that dress in the mud. Yeah.
Yeah. Ed can't go under. He's just had a heart attack.
He's in like a wheelchair as well. I think. Lazy.
He's been lazy.
Just had a heart attack. Have you? Grow up. Come on.
And we've gone back to the start as well. Like this is when they find the totem. They investigate when it first began. They have a little bit of a flashback when the little boy almost gets like yanked into a waterbed. Oh yeah, that's where the ghosty begins.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And then that was a pretty cool scene. So obviously there's a waterbed already in the house when they move in. He has a little lie about on it, and then there's a creepy moment.
Face in there.
See a face, then a hand, and then it grabs him, tries to pull him in.
Another example though, this bit where the waterbed almost pulls him in, it explodes obviously, and there's water everywhere.
Yeah.
Either of you, if that had happened to you, just moved into a house, you've been in the house for not 5 minutes, and you've broken a waterbed, do your parents come in and say, "Oh, you're all right, you had a scare," or are you in the worst trouble in the world because you've destroyed a waterbed in your new house?
Yeah, I remember we were moving house. And I was really fascinated by the cigarette lighters in cars. You push the thing and it pops out, and you look at the burning rings. And we were in like a moving van we've hired, and I was looking at it as my dad was in the house getting boxes ready, and I dropped it, and it like burned into the car seat, like was like melted into it, and it started smoking. I just ran away into my bedroom.
Immediately ran away.
Just left the van smoking. And my dad but that's the point is my dad was convinced. But even now, he says, "I did it on purpose." I didn't. I dropped it.
Even now,
it's got to be this afternoon.
He says he's only one time Luke's been like a pain in the ass is when he purposely shoved that cigarette lighter into the seat. I didn't. But like, so if it was a waterbed, my dad would be convinced for years that I'd like scissored it or something.
Yeah.
There's no way he would ever agree. admit there was an accident.
You're around there with your fiance. It says, now, whatever you do when you're setting up your marital home together, don't get a waterbed. Luke will take scissors to it like that. Doesn't like it.
Evil. Oh,
Andy, you've gone really dark in the video.
You've gone really dark and creepy. Yeah, look at you. Terrifying. You've literally become one of the Warrens.
Yeah, you're in the image.
The third Warren.
Yeah.
The son of Warren.
Sylph. That sounds really wrong.
Sylph. Oh no.
I've got the light on.
Son, a son I'd like to know. No.
Take that back.
Take that back. You're just like a silhouette man now. It's fine. We could deal with it.
That's what I meant. Silhouette. Yes, silhouette. Yeah.
Yeah.
Silhouette I'd like to fuck.
Silhouette I'd like to fuck. There's not many silhouettes you would fuck. Maybe like, I don't know, Jessica Rabbit. Because you're like, oh yeah, look at that.
Look at that silhouette.
Getting ahead of myself now.
Andy, what is going on? Why are you?
I don't know. Nothing's happened.
Why are you turning into a shadow?
Oh no! Possessed, the devil. I should never have offered to take
come out of the background and then back in.
Right, let's have a go here.
No, not working. Yeah. So what happens? So they find the witch's totem in the crawl space under the house, which is creepy. What is it? It's made of like animal.
It's like a human jewels.
Yeah, it looks like a human jewel.
Yeah.
Which is when they work out that obviously it's a person who's placed a curse on this house. It's a witch's totem, and then they go and meet this guy, a former priest, who previously dealt with this
the cult of the Ram or something like that.
Yeah, Disciples of the Ram, or something. So they do a bit of digging and they find out that this thing existed. Yeah, so he sort of gives them some information. He's played by what's his name from Lord of the Rings, isn't he? What's his name? The
guy that was in charge of he's in charge of, is it Gondor for a while?
Yeah, John Noble.
Yeah, he was going to burn his son up on the fire.
That guy, the guy who makes Pippin sing.
Sean Bean's dad. Yeah,
he makes Pippin sing. Yeah, and there's a close up of him eating something at one point, isn't there? Like a fruit.
Big old bit of chicken.
He eats like a berry or something. It pops.
Yeah,
like he eats something. Disgusting.
It's like disgusting ASMR, the worst type of ASMR. So yeah, we get a little bit of a backstory with him that he's a former priest and he's not a priest anymore. He's like, I've had enough. I've had out to here of being a priest.
Didn't he like? There was a big breakup of a big Satan cult, and he's been rehabilitating them all. I don't like Satan, and and he's ended up with all their stuff, and they go and see him.
Yeah, so he's got a room of absolute.
He has a conjuring house, effectively.
Yeah, and I think they even the people even Ed and Lorraine Warren, who have got a room full of shite like that, they say you should burn this room. They've literally got a haunted doll in there.
It keeps getting out or something. There's loads of films about it.
Yeah, and the little silly.
You should burn this room. It stinks.
You should burn this room because someone's done a shit somewhere and you never find it.
It's like a ball pool.
I can't burn it because then you'll let all the ghoulies out. So you just got to keep it in this room forever.
I think he makes a point that the reason he's keeping everything is because otherwise
that's the exact same point as what they say. Then
there's other things you could do though, right? Quick ideas for you guys. Brainstorming the Warrens, like seal them all in cement and then chuck them in the bottom of the sea, like Megatron. Just chuck him down there.
Like Megatron, yeah.
It's that Mariana Trench. Gone forever.
And then we can do a future installment of The Conjuring in 1,000 years or something.
Where the bottom of the sea is full of ghosts.
Yeah.
Full of Annabelles.
Yeah.
Floating dolls.
Floating dolls. Ghost Sea. I like it.
Great.
I want it.
Conjuring episode 9 written by us.
So this guy pretty much explains that obviously some sort of occultist has intentionally left the totem there, resulting in the curse, which cursed the family.
They've done it on purpose.
They've done it on purpose, you knob. And then we get like a sort of spin-off side mission, which the Warrens go on to a place called Danvers in Massachusetts, where so what they do is they take the picture of the totem and they get the dude who's like their who is he, like their sidekick?
Is he new? Is he like the nun and he's always just there? Like they seem to have this sidekick that I don't remember from before.
I think he's in the first two.
I think he's in the first.
I think he was like one of the video technician from the AV club or whatever they call it. I think he's been there all the time. Although I'm looking forward to his spin-off movie that he should get in the next.
It looks
couple
like
of
he
years.
always sticks around and does the dirty work. When people go, can you
He
send
does
this
all the
image to
legwork.
every police department within like whatever mile radius? And for some reason, he sends one to Massachusetts, and they
It's
say,
like start local and then spread out. Is this kind of not just send all the letters in one go? No, write the letters, wait for replies, then go further out. But yeah, so he's doing the donkey work to find out where someone else might have seen this. The priest does warn them. He says, "Oh, look, be bloody careful, because if there's one thing you can rely on with Satanists, is that they'll get you.
They'll bloody get you at the end.
They don't take it well. They said, oh, someone else did that once, tried to mess with them and went bad.
So what happened? Someone
someone killed one partner, killed the other, and then put their head on the train track. Did he say?
That's it.
Oh, yeah,
head on the
that's
train
right.
track. Yeah.
Because it was nice and cool. It was a hot day. They were like, put your head on the train track. There's a train coming. Yeah, but I'm boiling. Done.
Yeah.
So it's like a detective from Danvers who messages them, gets in touch with them and says, there's a girl called Katie Lincoln who was stabbed 22 times, and they found the totem at the home of her friend, Jessica, who is missing. She's gone missing. It's terrifying. So yeah, they go on a little side mission. Just felt like like an episode of the X-Files or something, but in a nice little 20-minute segment, possibly. So yeah, they go and sort of investigate, and obviously the standard things where Ed and Lorraine have to try and convince someone who doesn't believe in all the paranormal stuff that this is what they kind of need to do. And they make a deal, don't they? Do they make a deal?
Yeah, well, they say we'll help you find either where her body is or find out more information about this case if you then tell us about our case.
Help us with our
case. Because they sort of, I think they've gone along thinking that he's going to help them from the start. Say, oh no, you're here to help me. Like, oh, fine, we'll solve your murder. And they say, well, are you really psychic? And I do some tests for Lorraine. And it's like, oh, Patrick Wilson is furious. He's like, she's not a sideshow. She's not going to do it and say, that's your card. That's the murder weapon.
A 1 in 3 chance. 1 in 3 chance she gets it, and they go, whoa, man. Oh my God. Shit.
Yeah.
Some more blood on it.
Christ.
Yeah,
had a little fleck of blood on it, yeah. Which was the murder
Yeah.
weapon. So yeah, they go to like where she was apparently not last seen, but like where they found the body, wasn't it, of the other girl?
They do a vision.
Lorraine starts doing a vision, but does a vision where she's like fully involved and playing the role of the girl who's missing.
Yeah, I've got to say the green screen this bit kind of threw me out a little bit. So Lorraine runs to the cliff edge where the possessed girl killed herself, jumped up, and I was like, it didn't look like she was on that cliff at all. I don't know if you felt similar. Floating
3 feet above it.
Yeah.
So like the ghost of Jessica like grabs her, doesn't she? And almost pulls her over the edge of the cliff.
That's mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, the connection
Ed saves
is
her.
Ed does save her with a little dive.
He also has another heart attack doing that. He's like, my heart's on red.
He's had 12 heart attacks since throughout the film. He's just keeping them quiet. He's like, fuck, you know. So yeah, and they find out that the connection was that Jessica was under the influence of a demonic possession before she jumped to her death. So they try and make the connection here. They're like, oh, but she was miles away from where our demonic possession is. So is it really linked? Even though it's the same totem. So they go to do some more digging. They go to the funeral home where
you can't just wait till morning for that. It's very important.
This is
after quite a creepy bit. The Conjuring Universe hasn't really had zombies in it before, but this was a bit of a zombie kind of scene.
We get a zombie bit right now. So she goes and makes the connection, and Lorraine makes a foolish mistake here. So she goes and holds the hand of the dead girl that they've got out of the
which is
lake.
very, very juicy. The
she's
dead girl's hand.
She's full of juice, and she wants to set the juice. So she holds her hand, and she goes. She's not very patient. She goes, "Oh, I can't feel anything." And then, like seconds later, "Oh no, here we go, vision."
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Vision again.
And then she's having a vision, and she sees the same, like totem table where the person is doing a ritual. They've already warned poor chaplain at the prison. They've worked out that it is connected, and there's someone going on and said, "I'll phone the prison chaplain because she's going to try and get him again." So he's looking after your boy in prison, and she sees like the baddie doing a ritual that takes control of matey in prison, and he smashes a bottle of holy water that the priest has given him. And at first, she's just watching him, and he's going to cut himself with the glass. So she does like a Gandalf voice. She goes and like cancels the spell very briefly.
Yeah.
But then she realizes that the connection works both ways.
Yeah, so she can see.
Immediately, absolutely fucks it by using a real name. Like, goes, Ed, phone this. Don't use your name.
Yeah, they could have nicknames. Dilf and Milf, or Cyclops and Jean Grey.
Jean Grey, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
Patrick Wilson could play Cyclops, I feel.
Yeah.
Could play anyone.
Yeah.
So she uses her name immediately, and then this is the first proper look we get at our enemy. She's like the Nego Lorraine. So she's opposite. She has similar powers to Lorraine, but is in a different color palette and is evil.
Yeah. And uses them for bad, very, very bad things.
And she brings there's a big horrible bulk man zombie, and she brings him to life
He looks like one of the zombies in Shaun of the Dead. Do you remember there was a dude, like quite a heavy set dude with long, lank hair?
Were they twins? There was like two people who looked quite similar.
Yeah, I think they were twins, but he looks like one of them. Big old guy with big, horrible, terrifying footsteps.
Yeah, it's got a big old naked. When he was not a zombie, he might have been really nice, but now between the skinny magic lady and the big man, it's like a Bulk and Skull double act. That's what I call them.
Yeah.
And there they are. So Bulk goes to get Lorraine. She doesn't want to break the connection. Never listens to Ed. He's like, "You've got to break the connection now." She breaks the connection just in time, and Bulk falls down dead. We don't get to see the ramifications of the terrible mess they've made in the in the funeral home.
Yeah, they just leave. See you later. Sorry, guys.
They've squeezed that juicy.
They
hand.
just call that colleague of theirs to get to all the grunt work. Dude, there's a guy fell on the dead guy's on the floor. Can you come in and pick him up?
He's massive. He weighs at least 25 stone. But you'll get him back on the table, won't you? We know you can.
We've dinged the body quite a bit. He did bash his head on the table because he was running at us as a zombie very briefly.
Yeah.
If you could just square that away. We did break the window to break into the funeral home. And we did make at least one phone call while we were here. So you should probably clear that as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just chip off back home, I guess, to do some more research.
Yeah, so they go back to their house, and there's obviously a weird bit where Ed, what happens? He loses consciousness, then he wakes up.
That's it. Yeah, he collapses, and then he wakes up in bed, and he's having a bit of a nightmare. And Bulk, the big zombie man, is at their house now.
Oh yeah.
And he's about to banish him with a cross. And then the useful assistant grabs his arm and he comes back too. What actually happened was he was possessed, wasn't he? And he was going to stab Lorraine.
Yeah. And then we find out pretty much now that there was another totem hidden in this vase of roses, because the flowers went to the house as was it like a get well soon thing?
When were they sent? Were they sent after?
It arrived that morning. I think it's after.
Oh, okay. So after they made the connection.
After they've had the connection, and Lorraine went, "Geez, Ed Warren, my husband, who lives at 555 Real Street, USA." She's immediately got the name and address, and she's able to send some flowers that get there. And I guess these totems, to give it a modern spin, obviously we're bringing it out of the 80s now, they're like Wi-Fi signal boosters. So if you've got one of those in your house, then she, the demon lady, can, the way IT can remotely pilot your computer when you've got a problem.
Yeah.
She can do that with your husband.
She can do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Devo.
She got the team viewer software.
Yeah.
Log in.
So then that's perfect analogy. So then Drew, the dude, he's like got a book of witchcraft which he found. He gives it to Ed, and he states, but basically it's got the answers for how the curse can be lifted. Is that altar that Lorraine has already seen in her visions needs to be destroyed,
Smashed in twain,
crushed to dust.
It literally says, doesn't it? It's like there's this big thing that's written in a little bit of Aramaic and a little bit of Latin. Oh, my Latin's a bit rusty. It says here that this curse is about, if you want nectar points, you've got to make these 3 murder suicides happen, and then you get all the ones you could ever want.
Yeah.
Does it say how to break the curse? And it's like, funnily enough, it does.
It does. So
scroll down a bit.
They work out now that Katie, the girl from Massachusetts who died, like attended Fairfield University, which is really close. So they do that thing where they go, all the dots on the map are in real close places, and then they basically work out the common denominator, the place which links all these places together pretty damn easily, because obviously Lorraine,
train tracks, river.
She talks about the train tracks and a river, and they try and converge on what the spot is that it could be, and they pretty much work out that it is that dude's house. The dude that they went to see, the former priest.
Nega Ed.
Would have been a good partner for Lorraine in this one. Not that Ed doesn't do a good job, but Ezekiel from Saw, the Spiral, the Book of Saw last week, he recognised those buildings just from that brickwork.
Oh yeah.
If he'd been teamed up with it, it's the old
he's absolutely great identifying that. Anything else, not. So in a way.
That guy who plays a Nega Ed, which I don't think is quite fair on Ed to call him the Nega Ed.
Yeah, because he's a dad.
He's a dad, yeah. He was in Fringe, the TV show. Did you ever watch that?
Yeah,
he was really good in Fringe. He was the like a funny old cantankerous scientist guy. Have you seen Fringe, Andy?
No.
I think he'd be right up your street. Yeah, I think the first season or 2 was kind of X-Files-y in a way.
Add it to the list, Luke. The never-ending list of content. What I could do is I should really get an illness that means that I'm okay, but I need to stay in and not work and watch TV for a while.
Yeah, I recommend it. But that guy, as soon as I saw him in it, he's even quite funny in this in a way. Like there's one bit where Lorraine wants to shake hands and he's got chicken shit on his hands.
Oh yeah.
He's got a sort of a dry way of speaking.
I would have shook her hand. She go, "Oh, what's this?"
Maybe that was
really
maybe
sorry,
that was
but it's chicken shit.
Maybe that was tactical though, because she would have seen the connection.
Maybe he always keeps chicken shit on his hands just in case.
He was like, I wasn't.
Chicken shit in my hands.
I wasn't born yesterday. Saw him pull up in the car and just wiping his hands around on the floor. Oh,
what a great man.
He comes clean pretty quick, doesn't he? He says,
if Elaine turns up at 3 a.m, whatever time it is, she's figured it out.
So no, because she goes there not because she's figured it out, doesn't she? She goes there.
She goes to get his advice.
To get his advice again, yeah.
Does she? I thought that's where it was. I thought they were like, that's exactly the house.
It is, but Ed realizes it 10 minutes after she's gone. There's no mobiles there.
He's already left. She's gone to go and ask him again, and then they've done all the detective work.
It's bad late, Ed. Yeah.
Bit late, Ed. Come on, sort it out.
So I thought this was a really curious bit. So the dad says, "Yeah, my daughter is the Nega Elaine."
She's Nega Lorraine. Yeah.
Nega is it Lorraine or it's Lorraine? Nega Lorraine. And then she's got like these tunnels. He brought her up, and then because he was exposed to all of this evil stuff, she got really into it. And every time he said, "No, don't be into it," she got more into it. That's the way teenagers work. And then she
should have really pushed her to get into it instead.
And the Cure. And she goes into she finds the tunnels where she listens to the Cure and sacrifices goats. But like she's got like a really cool little tunnel. I don't know what the tunnels are for, but there's like an altar there. There's all this spooky stuff. And then he tells Lorraine to go, or Lorraine says that he gives her the key or something, and she goes.
A base is in there, but she's coming, so you better do one.
There is a couple of really spooky bits here. The bit where the daughter kind of walks in, and she's like, "I'm not happy with you, Dad," and then she like takes 2 steps, and then like as soon as she walks off camera, she's like suddenly behind him.
Yeah,
and
that
she
was
slits
good.
his throat. I thought that was a creepy
I
moment.
like that. Of all the,
And then go on, sorry.
all the moments to kill your dad, and it like everything you've been through, and now you just like, I mean, he's grassed you up. I know. You got to do your
She tells him snitches get stitches.
snitches
Yeah.
get stitches. I understand that, but at the same time, he's not
Yeah.
a threat. Just go and fuck up.
And
Lorraine
then
now.
I saw, so as I was going about my week on social media, I saw people complaining about how, the new Conjuring movie is not scary at all. So did they watch this scene? The bit where Lorraine is going through these tunnels, I think is genuinely quite terrifying.
It's terrible, isn't it? Because
Especially when Thingy turns up and you know she's behind her and sort of catching up to her and stuff. It's really scary.
She's a scary lady, is
Yeah.
Nega Lorraine.
Yeah.
And she does all these things where, like, first she's trying to push the altar over, but it's too blooming heavy. She's
Bolted
made it
down.
out of
Weighs
good,
bloody
solid
ton, this
construction
does.
materials. This isn't a flat pack. This is
Yeah.
real. She's got this remote
Kitchen
furniture band.
worktop. Yeah.
No veneer, so she's so she can't push it over, and then the enemy comes, bad Nega Lorraine, and she puts her like into a bit of, what is it now? Is it the Last Jedi where she goes into that tunnel and there's loads of her? She Last Jedi's her.
Yeah. I'm not too sure why that happens. Just to confuse her for a sec.
Just to confuse her, yeah.
Yeah, like
Doctor
there's loads of her in lots of in Doctor Strange Mirror Universe. I'm guessing because she's done some Satan things, she has a few Satan powers, like the Connection and Mirror Universe and that type of thing, teleportation. And there's a bit there where she's kind of pinned her down, and she's gonna. This is another quite scary bit, right? When she has the knife and she's gonna get there in the eye. She's like, "Oh, go on, open your eye, mate. I'll just stab you in the eye here."
She's a scary character.
Yeah.
That lady, it's really creepy. Really.
And for a moment, I was watching because Lorraine was kind of using her sight beyond sight to see through her eyes. Sometimes it's kind of flicking between because the connection's going. And I was like, is she going to use that power against her? So she's going to think she's going to stab herself in the eye. No, she's going to twat her with the rock.
Well, then she uses her vision to see the rock. Like, she doesn't know it's there. So she sees the rock in Nega Lorraine's vision. And
Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
Yeah. He's there. Ringside, waiting for a tag.
Lays the smack down on her.
Tag me in. Yeah, he lays a rock bottom.
Waiting for a hot tag.
Yeah.
But I quite like the fact that, so the main antagonist in this is a human being. Surely, sure, Nega Lorraine and someone with demonic powers, I guess.
Interests.
Witchy power, demonic interests and witchy powers. But yeah, it's a person. It's interesting because we haven't had that at all in the Conjuring universe. I know we've had I'm sure we've had some.
Tends to be demons, doesn't it? Like they tend to go to the inhuman.
Yeah. Oh, I guess we've kind of skated over it. We've buried the lead here in our other character. He is the priest at the prison is trying to exorcise him, and he's floating up in the air, and he's about to kill himself as this is coming through. Ed arrives.
This is the first time the priest has seen any shit like this as well, because he is really, really oh my god.
You think to himself, I was just I'm just the priest at a prison.
Yeah.
Didn't sign up for this.
Obviously, Arne's girlfriend as well is there trying to sort of I don't know why is she allowed in there? Kind of a bit mad.
Oh, come on, if the devil's allowed to visit anytime he wants.
Yeah. I suppose so, yeah. Visiting hours are just come in and chill out for a bit.
12 till 12 every day.
It's all good. Don't you worry about
it. Ed arrives. Don't worry, you haven't got to go through the secret passageways. There's just another door into the base, just in the garden. So he takes that, he goes down, and then he thinks he sees Lorraine, but it's another trick. It's not her, it's Nega Lorraine.
Well,
and she...
first of all, Nega Lorraine does the little... Oh, no, sorry, you're about to say that. Apologies.
Yeah, no, go for it, Ben, go.
So when Nega Lorraine appears, she blows pixie dust in his face. To which he automatically becomes under the influence of that. His eyes go all milky. He's got a sledgehammer, and then he starts going ham, trying to kill Lorraine, thinking she's obviously
Nega Lorraine.
Someone else.
It's hammer time.
To make. Yeah.
Other 80s references, maybe he's being Sledgehammer.
Yeah, this
Peter Gabriel.
Sledgehammer. This was a bit like The Shining. I thought
yeah.
with him
Yeah.
sort of like stumbling around, smashing things, trying to kill her. With that, obviously, I guess, under the influence as well, some evil force.
And it's really tense. He's trying to get her, but then she eventually is out of places to run. And remember that scene earlier on where she told that story about the gazebo
Yeah.
that we thought at the time, is it or is it not going to be something later? Guess what? Is Chekhov's gazebo.
You just go-
And she uses Chekhov's Chekhov's gazebo on him at the same time as Arm's girlfriend says, "Oh, love you, you're brilliant, don't kill yourself."
Perfect timing. Love conquers all.
Yeah, I gotta say,
always
I
beats evil.
wasn't that much of a fan of this particular.
What do you mean?
It seems like a weak way for the characters to overcome the evil, if that makes sense.
Should have started with a rock.
Yeah.
We love each other.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I wish. Maybe the love conquers evil is the right message, but for me, it felt a bit ham-fisted.
Should have just tricked him because, like, when he comes to his senses, we learn that the thing she's standing by is the altar.
Yeah.
She could have just won based on her wits and just moved out the way, so he smashed the table.
Exactly. Something that was like, I don't know, was smart. A cleverer, smarter move on her side.
Yeah, and then she would have been the champion and gone, positive Lorraine wins.
Yeah.
But either way, the love conquers all. He comes to, smashes the table, and that means the curse is broken. So it's fine. He gets unpossessed. And there's loads of people just in the hospital bit. So there's the priest and his girlfriend trying to stop him, and then in the background there's about half a dozen people in the office just like rubbernecking. So they've all seen it. Devil confirmed, I guess. So that happens, and then the devil turns up. Is it the devil?
I think it is. I think this is the point where the devil actually turns. Because the devil made her do it. The devil made her do all the.
So it's from her perspective. The title's from her perspective.
That's
it was all along.
Yeah.
And
then
then
she like twists her neck out or something. Or...
Yeah,
he basically folds her up. Like, do you know when you used to fold a crisp packet into a triangle?
Yeah.
He basically does that to her.
Yeah. the devil treats like a transformer, converts into a boombox, starts like sound wave, and then just carries her off to hell with his new sound system.
Yeah,
great stuff.
And they just let him get on with it, and then Ed and Lorraine go outside. I assume the police turn up and say, "Yeah, that folded up woman and the priest. We saw their deaths, but we're not implicating either of those murders. We'll just go home." Yeah. Sounds
very nice.
Legit. Off you
and
pop.
then there's a bit where Ed has got like the cup from the altar. He places it in his room of evil artifacts alongside the
made a note
painting.
on that saying you went back for a souvenir.
Yeah.
So they didn't
yeah. He got out there and he was like, "Oh bloody! Oh wait! Oh!" Ran back in.
I'll take this evidence. Oh, and that's the nice thing because he goes, "Oh no, I didn't take my heart medicine," and she's got one on her. Because don't worry,
one little heart medicine.
Oh, that was a nice little moment, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a Viagra.
Yeah, making light of it is nice. It's nice that she takes his heart medicine because she loves her husband. He's a nice chap.
Very nice. And then obviously there's a little bit at the end which kind of links it to real life where it says Arne was convicted of manslaughter but ended up only serving 5 years of his sentence. He married Debbie while he was in prison, and then we see like an actual picture of him, and then it ends.
He looked more like Jesse Plemons or someone than whoever actually played him.
Yeah, it didn't really look like him.
We looked up a bit of the real story afterwards. It makes the Warrens don't come off too well in real life.
No, I know that. Yeah, I've heard a few stories.
Yeah, like the whole thing apparently in real life, they did the bit with the devil made him do it, and the court said, "No, that's not what we do.
No,
we don't pretend the devil made you do it."
There's a lot of stuff about them taking advantage of various people.
They wrote the brother that was possessed at the beginning. There was all sorts about them saying you could make quite a lot of money for this, and then they wrote a book about it, and they got allegedly they say they gave them like $2,000 or something like that, but.
Yeah, naughty.
Sometimes
naughty.
It's people that are the real monsters, is the moral we're learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not in this film.
Our fictional Ed and Lorraine have a lovely
Fictional Ed
ending
and Lorraine.
where-
A nice look. Give them both kisses here. Look.
Oh, very nice. Ooh, you committed to the. No, you committed to both kisses equally. I'll let you off.
Yeah.
So, and at the end, Ed builds Lorraine like a replica of the gazebo, which was the gazebo where they had shared their first kiss. I thought, how'd you get away with that? And they're not finding out. Dun, 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 dun. What's he doing out there? No,
You're always possessed again with that hammer.
Yeah,
Smashing the hammer.
Don't worry, this curse isn't so serious. I've got to do some woodwork, but you can't see it. That's the way to break the curse. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And then it ends. We got
Bloody
some
ends, doesn't it?
audio clips from the real possession stuff, which is always fun. I think we got that on the last one as well.
Yeah, that's spooky.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we did.
Yeah. Okay, so some name game. I think we're doing it a little bit different today. We're doing a bit of a round robin.
Yeah, I'll pull mine out.
A round robin. Go on. You got. I think I've only got one, so you guys can.
I've
Go
got
first.
3.
Oh, show off.
I've got 3.
Okay. All right. So the first one I've got. It's a film about the Warrens who investigate a murder that may be linked to a cheese toasty.
I think you've got one I have. But
The Breville made me do it.
The Breville made me do it.
Yeah.
My variant on that, Luke, was a man poses an unusual legal defense when he claims a cheese toasty maker forced him to have sex with it.
The Breville made me do it.
Screw it, but yeah.
Screw it. Yeah,
Oh,
you've turned into an evil.
Oh no, not
feel like
again.
I reckon
Andy.
just run with it. I reckon just run with it. Nega
Yeah.
Andy, yeah. Evil Andy.
Go on, Ben. What's yours?
Oh, what is mine? The Warrens investigate a murder that may have been linked to a demonic possession when a demon makes everybody a nice cup of tea.
The devil made tea.
Made me
To
brew it.
brew
Made
it.
me made tea brew it.
Made tea brew it.
It's just the devil made me brew it. That's it. Apologies.
Okay, I've got one. The Warren investigate a murder that may be linked to a Marvel superhero from Hell's Kitchen.
The daredevil made me do it.
Well, just Daredevil made me do it.
The devil made me do it.
Oh, that's way better. Yeah, that's good.
I have one here. It's about a young man who is incredibly victimized by his kind of eccentric Dalmatian coat-wearing fashionista boss, and she makes him do artwork, but grammatically incorrectly puts it in the wrong tense. She's very unorthodox.
Something to do with Cruella.
Cruella made me.
Dog it.
She made the young man do some artwork, but grammatically in the wrong tense.
Made me drew it.
Yeah, that's right. Cruella de Vil made me drew it.
Okay, I've got one
Cruella
more.
de Vil made me drew it. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I like it. Bloody good, mate. It's good stuff. This is.
I've got one. The Warrens investigate a sore fun after a child goes rogue with a conker. Not very clever.
The devil made me boo boo it.
Well, that bit's the same.
Is it?
The devil
What's
bit
the
or the do it bit?
I mean, it's the Conjuring bit that.
Or the conquering.
The
Yeah,
conquering. The devil
conquering.
made me do it. Yeah. Okay.
My last one is a variant on Ben's, where someone at sixth form college, to pass their final exams, is forced to create some beer.
Wow. Brew it again, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, brew it is the Ben portion.
But what was the other bit you said?
To
BTEC National.
Someone at sixth form college,
Oh, yeah.
16 to 18, key stage 4, is to pass their final exams, they have to make this beer to get their qualification.
The
Is it the word? I don't know. Is it the word
Is this
conjuring?
The A level made me do it. Made me brew it.
A level made me brew it.
Confused by his own name
The
game.
con brewing.
The con brewing. The devil
A level
made me brew
brew it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we need to rate the film. I think I know what I'm going to go for. What about you guys?
Ben, you go first.
If you know, Luke, then you should go. If you know.
Okay, I'm going to go with a C+. I think it's not a perfect film. It's like we talk about like a TV series, the Ed and Lorraine adventure series, and like every episode, when you watch the X-Files, not every episode's a banger, but you enjoy watching the characters, and you want to sort of see their story progress and the procedurals that they go through. This feels just like a slightly subpar episode in a longer TV show. The scary bits I think are really good. I think the stuff with Nega Lorraine and also Zombie Bulk, sorry.
Yeah,
was really
Skull,
good.
the enemies of the people.
I just think outside of that, I do think it misses some of the creativity in the actual gags. Like James Wan, I think is really good at creating scary little, like in the first one, I'm gonna sneeze. In the first one, there's a bit where like the laundry comes loose off the washing line, and like it enwraps like a ghostly figure wasn't there, and then it flies up and lands against the window, and then suddenly there's a ghost inside that room going towards the kid. I think James Wan is really good at kind of making these creative little scary spooky bits, where this film kind of lacks it a little bit. I think like that, like inventive flair.
Yes. I'll go for something similar. I think maybe slightly more. So I might go for a B-. Just because of all of the modern horror franchises, I feel like I have the most fun with the main installments of The Conjuring. I always find that there weren't many cheap jump scares. There weren't many massive cliches. I felt like the horror, it felt like it was doing something different. It didn't feel like it was going over the same old stuff, the same old story with The Conjuring, with the scares and everything like that. I felt like I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the characters, and the fact that it kind of had that kind of true crime element, which I guess wasn't really there in the first one, wasn't so much there in the second. I really enjoyed it, and it made me want to see, these characters in a different setting. And and again, like I mentioned, the fact that the antagonist was different, not just a ghost or a demon or something else that they're gonna just end up beating in the same old way. It was an actual person to go up against. It just felt good. It felt fresh, and I enjoyed it. I enjoy it far more than like things like, I don't know, Insidious and stuff like that, which I feel like you kind of know what you're getting with that, and it does feel like it hits the same one note thing over and over again. But I feel like The Conjuring's got a lot of different unique elements that make it a really interesting franchise. The main installments, at least.
Yeah. Apart from the Nun that you only enjoy the directing on, but nothing else.
I mean, that's not a main installment, so.
Yeah, it's all right. In the bin. I enjoyed this. I probably going to go similar to Luke. I think a C+. It was good. I do get the feeling that this could be like a, what's the word they use for it now? Like a prestige TV show. I think this type of story that were hour episodes, nice tight run things would be great, and I'd watch at least one season of it. There are bits that work well. There are bits that sometimes fall down a little bit, but by and large, I like it. It's got a good bit of creepiness to it. Like sometimes a little bit like people having visions. Maybe that gets a little bit old, but there's some really good moments in it. And like you guys, I liked the connection that it wasn't just another demon, and the main thing is like, it's not entirely about working out whether it's a hoax or not individually. I think you accept there's something strange going on from quite early on, and there's an outside antagonist. I like the fact that you have actual baddies in this world. I enjoyed it. So C+ all the way.
Cool.
Very nice.
The next week we are doing Quite a Place 2. Is that right?
We are.
Yeah, so that's going to be the 4th new release in a row, and then I think obviously now that all of these cinema releases are kind of finally out, there'll be a bit of a break, return to usual programming.
You got some classics, quality stuff to round out the month.
Yeah, what's on the horizon of cinema releases soon? Do we know?
The Green Knight's out quite soon, right?
Yeah,
I don't know if they'll play that Odeon.
And obviously Yeah, and then Candyman will be
The
out
Candyman.
eventually. The Candyman will be out in September, October, possibly. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I think it's quite a light month for cinema releases in June, like things that I want to see at least, especially horror. June and July, I think, are both a bit. Yeah, and then we got like big blockbusters coming out in June as well. So there's going to be like Black Widow and stuff. Sorry, July. So apart from that, not entirely sure.
I saw Freaky is coming out in cinemas. I know
Yeah.
we've already done an episode on it, but I thought that was quite cool.
Go and see it again.
Go
Last
see
Night
it
in
again, will
Soho,
you?
the Edgar
That
Wright
looks
film.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course. Exciting stuff. Glad to be back at the cinema. Always a good
Yeah,
time.
certainly are.
Mostly a good time. Yeah.
Cool.
So Quiet Place Part 2 next week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Nice one.
Bring us home with that quality read of the outro, Luke.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the show, become a patron over at patreon.com/Hawk and Cleaver. Thanks to Kovac Kalman for our theme music. Thanks to Acast for hosting the show. Thanks for the listeners. If you enjoyed, please consider rating and reviewing and subscribing, and head over to the Facebook group Horror Hangout Board of Advisors. And yeah, thanks to my co-hosts Ben and Andy for being right horror dudes.
Thank you both.
Goodbye
of you.
from the shadow realm where I exist currently.
That is well you shall remain.
Banished. Ah!
Banished to the shadow realm.
All right, Andy's been
He's actually gone.
exercised. Yeah. Cool.
See you later.
Bye.
Later. Bye.
Oh, Andy's there.